Well, I guess we could. Hold on.
Let's watch one more thing.
Let's watch. Yeah, one more thing. I'm looking.
As soon as I go out that door, then I got to start looking after the baby again. So, you know how dads are always trying to hide away, avoid the baby at all costs, right, Bryan?
Yep, that's what I did, baby. This is Michael Noland. I'm gonna back out and try to back in so you can see he gets so angry at a woman that I needed to play this. Hold on, here we go. Look, is Sharon Osbourne's Black Sabbath's Yoko Ono? Is question he's trying to answer.
Yeah, Ozzy.
Okay, so we got Royce in the house.
Royce.
That's a lady. That's the new lady they have.
That's the lady. You haven't given her a great pause.
They don't put her name. And Michael looking incredibly comfortable. Like he was about. And then we got Canadian Hitler.
Canadian Hitler's there, of course, as always. The lady in the top right now is she's kind of got like Martha from Baby Reindeer kind of energy at the moment.
Well, she's a rock lady, and she's always yelling, from what I can tell.
What Nolan's fucking with his fucking fire behind him and all red.
Yeah,
smirk on his face. What? Hey.
Oh, he gets all. He starts feeling himself in this one. That's why I wanted to play this video for you. He really starts to feel like he is doing it. You know what I mean? It's really good. He starts riffing. Love it. Royce doesn't know what to do with it, of course, but he tries. Royce tries.
Royce is adult.
Now, Royce tries. Now, Canadian Hitler, I don't think says a single word.
Canadian Hitler, if anyone's wondering, the guy's it's not because of his views. We don't know anything about his views. We should specify that for new viewers. He just had a Hitler mustache. He might have it now, or he just might be the shadow under his nose. But he had a pretty solid Hitler mustache before. The first time we ever saw him, and he had a Canadian flag behind him, and so we called him Canadian Hitler. That's just to be fair to this gentleman, and just not so we don't get in any trouble.
We don't know his politics. Michael never lets him talk. Like
we know Michael's politics a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, here.
No, he really wants to come back again. I mean, he's fighting Parkinson's.
Yeah,
all those plates and pins.
I don't know who that lady is. She doesn't even have a microphone.
Yeah, she doesn't have a microphone. Her connection is kind of poor.
Terrible.
That he's had his necks and backs from 2 different accidents, ATV, and
I think she's
falling on his face in the dark at his house, which knocked.
Well, isn't he at his? I think he's at his surgeon's home right this minute, waiting for permission to perform for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's the latest thing I've heard on him.
First of all, Canadian Hitler, like Michael Noland knows anything. Like he's ever spoken to somebody that's even 3 degrees of separation from Ozzy Osbourne.
That lady's too close to the camera.
Very close to the camera. She's really looks very stoned too. I don't know if she's stoned, but
he's hoping to do that. But
that was a joke.
He hasn't got a clearance from his doctor. That goes back. I was going to make a video on it, but like I said, this has been a transition time for me, and I didn't have time to cover it. And by the time I would covered it, it would have been last week's news.
This is what happens. This lady, this is what happens to Nolan, though. He's just like, yeah, I don't know, I could do it, but then it's already that, like, he gets all in his head. Just fucking sit down and make a fucking video, man.
And it's always yesterday's news. You only do yesterday's news.
It's always so late. You never get shit done. Like he must take but his videos are like. It's not like they're well researched or well produced or anything. Like he should be able to knock them out in a day.
I think he writes them word for word.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He goes like this. He doesn't just sit in that room and go, "How's it going, everybody? I'm Michael Noland," and then starts yelling about a woman. I think he writes it down. You know?
Hey, this is really funny. I got to read this. People on the Discord discovered Canadian Hitler's name is Chris. I won't say his name. He is literally a gerontological social worker who uses rock music to help old people.
Oh, he seems like a sweetie.
He's like a really sweet guy, and we're just like Canadian Hitler.
The guy seems like Hitler. Well, like we said, he never gets to talk. The guy never is allowed to talk.
So just to be clear, we now say we like Canadian
Hitler. We can't change his name.
We can't change his name. He has the name now,
changes.
so I'm afraid to say that we have to say that.
We think Canadian Hitler has, he probably has good politics.
Don't just stop it. Just stop it. Just let's not talk about it.
With that job,
this guy seems great. Let's just stop calling him that.
But this goes back maybe 2 weeks ago when his doctors just won't give him the okay for even a single song.
Who's this?
Ozzy Osbourne, number one. And again,
this is recently. Like Ozzy Osbourne has seemed fucking like a long time. I seen him on that TV show or whatever. Flub Ho subscribing to Tier 1 10 months. I saw him on his TV show like 20 years ago, and he seemed like this man has months to live. You know,
there's something about Michael Noland sitting here and like talking like he knows Ozzy Osbourne. Like he literally read the same websites that Royce in the House and Stoned Lady and Canadian Hitler read. You know what I mean? Like they're all reading the same shit. He doesn't know anything. He's making stuff up.
You know, but he wants to, and he's expecting to.
He had to put his little intro video in. That was the cold open.
That was the cold open on a 5-minute video. All right.
He looks good there. And he's bitching.
Sharon says Ozzy's done. He wants to do 2 shows to say goodbye to his fans, a proper goodbye. It's one of those things.
Well, if Sharon says it.
So you can see where Michael's going to start feeling himself like real good now. Like he's cutting Royce off and he's mad as hell at Sharon Osbourne.
But Ozzy actually says he wants to tour, so we'll see. I can see him doing 2 shows to say goodbye for sure. But, you know, he's getting. I've been reading. I did a little.
They don't let the lady say nothing.
Show on his health condition. He's been getting massive infusions of stem cells into his mind.
You like the fucking I hate Noland in this video.
Yep.
That's the same thing.
Yep.
That's the same thing I heard, actually, from Louder Than Hell or whatever the website is. It is he went to from Metal Hammer. I was reading Metal Hammer and they said that.
No, so I don't know. Maybe he'll.
Well, did anybody else notice that starting around November, up until they announced him as to be inducted, that Sharon sat there on every freaking TV show, interview that she ever did, radio show,
like, dude, he's talking to human beings, but he's like doing it like he's doing one of his shows.
I know.
He's just like, so then why did Sharon Osbourne go on every radio show? And it's like, are we talking here or what's going on, man? Why?
No, and yeah, Robin Banks is right. She glitches out every time she's got something to say.
She's got a terrible connection and no onboard mic.
And talking with 3 guys that just
are never gonna give her a chance.
You don't want to hear what a woman has to say.
I mean, they're literally having a conversation right now about how they're upset that they have to hear about what a woman has to say.
The high heavens, why isn't my husband in the right around me? Solo artist. What a bore.
But I'll give her credit.
Yeah, he's going. He's got it going. He's doing a little Jim Norton.
She's literally talking right now, and she's being completely ignored. She's go back 5 seconds. She tries to say something here again. Yeah, Nolan does seem like he might be like a little bit. Maybe he's had a couple of passes.
Perfect pause, though.
Yeah.
What a bore.
But I'll give her credit. I'll give her credit.
I have no idea she glitched out and Royce was just fucking chop.
This is so cruel. She's just on this fucking stream, just like, hey, yeah, and then that's what she said about the whole thing. Anyway, it's like at her house, and they're just saying it into the air, just saying
it's all about women too.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
they're talking about a woman.
Yeah,
they have no interest in hearing what she has to say about it.
Basically, saving his life. When he got fired,
Yoko Ono of Black Sabbath.
No. She's not nearly.
She's the dragon lady. She is.
You've got to get.
That's the first time I've ever heard like sort of that devilish laugh.
I've never heard him riff like that. I've never heard him like go Jim Norton mode and be like, "She stinks. She's a bore."
Yeah,
hey, Yoko Ono, and then the lady up there, she just wants to talk a little bit.
She just wants to like say like, can you give her a chance to say like one single thing?
Chompers, they're chomping her.
Oh, Michael and Royce are absolutely dominating this. I mean, we haven't heard Canadian Hitler or the lady at all. No, here, let's watch this whole thing through. It's only 5 minutes.
I'm trying to, but I'm also trying to find out who she is. And fucking Michael doesn't think at all important to put her or Canadian Hitler in there. It's just him and Royce in the house because he's on Royce's fucking nuts.
Yeah, Royce is like a big dog in the rock YouTube world.
Michael's on Royce's fucking dick.
I want to hear Yoko Ono. You've got to get Frank Zappa and the Mothers 3-album set live at the Fillmore East.
Oh yeah, I wrote about that.
On side,
I don't know,
dude, that one was clear, and you just stopped and then did not acknowledge it, and just
don't want her off
right now. Her with her finger up. Her with her finger up, like, hello. Oh yes, I have something to say. Just fully ignored. Can you go back? Like this is truly brutal.
I like it when they're all talking.
And like granted, she interrupts, but you can understand why she interrupts.
Yeah, when was she talking? She didn't.
Yeah.
Here goes
Frank Zappa and the Mothers.
Here she goes.
3-album set.
Get recognized
live at the Fillmore East.
Oh yeah, I wrote about that.
On side 3, Yoko screams in the background.
Dejected. She's like, I wrote about that for saying.
I hate Royce now.
Oh
Royce,
no!
Royce is no longer my friend for how he's treating this woman, because obviously Nolan's most to blame, but Royce now to just like, that's another person on the call with you. Like, do you have some sort of problem with her? Do you hate her? Because that's how you treat someone who you hate. Like, can you imagine we have somebody on the stream, like we have a guest on, like, or on the podcast, like, you know, like, and not even as a bit at all. Like, they're just like interjecting, and I'm like having a conversation, and like Rob says something, and then I'm just like, so, you know, and then I just keep like, I do that to you as a joke, but
Michael now, I think he sees what's going on even a little.
I hate Royce. We hate Royce now.
I like Royce. Royce is a good man. Probably he's running with a bad crowd.
He's been negatively influenced. I'm not debating that. I mean, my big gripe, I despise Nolan, just to be clear to anyone watching. If you're like, well, why don't you have a problem with Nolan? I hate Nolan more than anybody. But yeah, Royce is now, he's rubbed me the wrong way himself too.
Yeah.
Through every song.
I heard Frank Zappa wanted to turn around and just completely take her off stage, and not in a very nice way either.
No, but
okay. So this guy thinks Frank Zappa wants to beat up Yoko Ono.
This guy is like kind of an ally to women, though, and that's not going to go over very well here on this particular stream.
Here's what I have to give Sharon credit for.
That lady looks pissed.
Her father was Black Sabbath's manager, okay? And so she had met Ozzy, and these
guys are all like kind of jockeying to know a fact.
Oh, I love that. And I'm guilty of it. I think we all are sometimes, but yeah, it's so lovely when it's like, yes, that's correct. Yes.
But yeah, he goes, his dad was Ozzy's manager, and you're like, okay, you could do this too. But he goes, it's manager. Like he finished.
That's correct.
He's a manager. You were right.
Heard he was holed up in a hotel for like about 3 months, drunk in drugs after getting fired from Black Sabbath. She went and helped him, kind of nursed him out of that.
Can you go back? Nolan just busted us straight up like he just fucking. Ooh, you don't see people do that move very often. Ooh, watch this.
Here. Just watch Nolan.
Just watch Nolan bottom right.
He's saying something positive about Sharon Osbourne.
Hotel for like about 3 months.
Just watch.
Drunk in drugs after getting fired from Black Sabbath. She went and helped him, kind of nursed him out of that, and recommended that he go on a solo career. And he came out with the Blizzard of Oz, and then right behind that, I think, was Diary of a Madman. But she may have saved his life.
Damn, Overhunt. They really grabbed a good following here.
Well, what do you know? You're telling me that Noland has some misogynists who have taken a liking to his particular brand of.
I'm dreading this. That's the perfect way to describe it. Saying my uncle owns Nintendo. These are people that don't know any of the people they're talking about at all. Like
Burger King Charles says Michael Noland is one of the elderly patients. Chris Elliott helps with rock music. That's Canadian Hitler. That's just what he does in real life. Very good.
Career, so I have to give her that. Yoko Ono didn't save anybody's career.
Well, I do have to admit it. You know, she's the first to have done exactly what Dr. Frankenstein did. All right. Okay. I cannot stand
This is the worst joke anybody's ever told, and it got exactly what it deserved.
Back it up. Let's hear it one more time.
Yeah, and now I want to look at Hitler's face. I want to look at I was looking at the woman's face.
You gotta say Canadian. You gotta say Canadian first.
Canadian Hitler.
If you're gonna say it, I gotta
flag behind you. That's what Hitler is too.
He's the first to have done exactly.
Okay, here we go.
Give her that. Yoko Ono didn't save any.
Poor lady tried to talk again there. Like
she's sort of trying now, but she's barely even. You know, she recognizes it's probably over for her.
It's been 3 minutes, and let her say a word.
Well, I do have to admit it. You know, she's the first to have done exactly what Dr. Frankenstein did.
That took a second.
She's giving it nothing.
Yeah, good.
She's right, I think, because it doesn't make
I don't get it. And then now this guy's on the screen saying, "Yup, Stained. What a great band."
Yeah, Stained. This is how you what's Stained song? What's Stained? They had a big song, Stained. What was their big?
They had a bunch of them. Mud Shovel, Just Go.
The big
while one. Outside. Ammonia.
Been a while. Thank you. I
named that one. I named that one.
People in the chat who know what I'm talking about. Brian's just like, no, they got a bunch of good songs. You
Mud
know
Shovel?
what I'm fucking talking about.
You've never heard Mud Shovel? That song whips. So
yeah. I don't hate them.
He's got bad politics, though. I hate him.
All right. I cannot stand the woman. I can't stand.
You could actually just cut that out and just play that every time and say, "This is Nolan. I cannot stand the woman."
I mean, that is that no doubt. The woman is like,
watch out, big man.
Really, right above this poor woman hasn't been allowed to talk yet. She's just like rightfully he told that joke and she's like, what the fuck, you know? She's not even trying to pretend. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Stupid. What is the Frankenstein? Like, I can't even assemble that joke. I'd take a minute here. I'll take a beat and say, I don't know what he's talking about. Let's finish this up here.
She's had her talons into Ozzy, and she's the main reason Black Sabbath and Ozzy never.
It's his wife, right?
It is his wife.
They're talking about his wife. Like, what do you know about their intimate?
Nothing.
40-year relationship that they've had. Like, what the fuck do you know about what their talents are in it? You have no fucking clue.
They're divorced too.
Oh, they are. They're divorced now.
But they live together. They do the whole like, hey,
yeah.
They still love each other. They're just sort of divorced. Probably, Tom situation. Maybe.
I love the idea of just like commenting on these like. Like she's fucking ruined everything. Like, who knows? Like sometimes I will just say this. Sometimes before in my life, I've said, hey, my fucking girlfriend won't let me come to this thing, But in reality, I just didn't want to go.
I have my wife do that all the time with me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Her family thinks I'm fucking the most miserable person in the world. Because it's just like Bryan wants to go home. All right.
Well, I mean, Bryan,
I am not miserable.
No, not miserable, but you do want to go home.
I do.
Well, that Black Sabbath, that had a lot to do with Ozzy's drug use.
Yeah. See, even
okay.
That was fucking weird. Did you notice the energy there? Just for a second? Look,
Noland like is pissed that he's even saying that. Like, why? And then puts it in the edit. Like, this is a Nolan edit, right? That we're watching.
Yeah. Here it is. Watch how mad they all get at each other.
Well, that Black Sabbath, that had a lot to do with Ozzy's drug use.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, so I feel like Michael just put all of us on Sharon's hit list now. Time for me to go off.
Probably.
Have a great night, everyone. Okay, thanks, Dave.
To be honest, Sharon, in the end, I'm glad for Ozzy. I'm glad he's in love. I'm glad they have a relationship and all of that. But
oh well, now Dead Boss and Jesse's doing a subathon. What's that mean?
Listen, I am happy for him that he's got all that blah 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 and the wife and the family and the love and the intimacy and the fulfillment and blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, I'd love to hear a couple more fucking Black Sabbath songs out of a fucking 79-year-old fucking guy who doesn't know his own name.
You know what? Also, can I say, like, also really like how shitty of a guy he is that like I know a lot of Black Sabbath fans that also like the Dio songs, like that when Ozzy Osbourne left and Dio took over, it wasn't even all that fucking bad, so he sucks. But Dead Blossom Jesse had me on his show once, and this Tuesday, let's get it. I got Tuesday is Classic Rock Guys too, so more Noland. More Chris Wade.
Dime Tide says, nope, Dio isn't real Sabbath, bro.
That's just the classic rock guy way to think.
Yeah,
like a lot of people
are you Dime Tide? Are you an older gentleman?
I like Ozzy.
Oh, yeah, Dime Tide's joking.
Thanks, Dime Tide. Thank you. Because I like Ozzy too. I don't listen to the Dio stuff either, but I do know that a lot of fans like the Dio stuff.